In this video, I will show you how to walk for a full body workout. I will explain techniques in walking that will be a huge game changer in making walking just about the perfect exercise you will ever try. And I think you're gonna be pretty surprised that when you walk, like the time of day that you walk or exercise in general, actually makes a huge difference, especially if you're targeting the midsection. So let's dive into it and see all the ins and outs of walking. So I used to be an avid runner. Marathons, half marathons, I ran every day. I was a part of many run clubs, and one of the run clubs that I was a member of had once a week where we would meet at a track, and then everyone was like split up into categories because runners run at all different paces, but one of the categories was race walking, and I found that to be very intriguing, so I joined that group. And if you notice runners, they're mostly injured or recovering from an injury in some way because running is so hard on your body, all that pounding. So I thought, let me give race walking a try. And I'm telling you, it changed my life. There are techniques, very specific techniques in foot placement, in arm movement, and that really does make it a full body workout because when you're moving your arms, you're working your core, you're working your legs, and you're doing cardio. So you are covering all the bases when you are out race walking. So number one, you need to commit. You need to set aside which days are gonna be your walking days, and no matter what, you get out there and you walk on those days. It's for your health, ladies. This is so important to get out there and be physical. Don't make any excuses. Your kids call and say they need grandma to babysit. Sorry, it's my walking day. I can't do it. You change your schedule for me because we're at the age where we can be a little selfish. We've done our time, ladies. Now it's time to concentrate on ourselves, making sure that we are healthy and being absolutely committed on those particular days that you have chosen to be your walking days. It's going to really make you be in it. And that's what you need to do. You need to be in it. So number two is find a way to make it fun. You want to look forward to it. If it's something that just is like, oh, I don't feel like it. I don't want to get out there. It's kind of chilly today. It's too hot today. If you find yourself making excuses, you're going to give in to your excuses. So find something that makes you look forward to it. So if you have a friend committed to doing it the right way and making it a real exercise experience, then that's golden. What I do, because I don't have a friend like that wants to get out there and push themselves and walk with me, I listen to podcasts, and I can't wait to get out because I'm so excited to listen to what podcasts I have for that day. Even though I am concentrating on my walking, it makes it really fun to have that distraction at the same time. Otherwise, just walking could be really tedious and boring. If you're the type of person that enjoys music, that might be motivating for you. You can listen to books on tape. So think about what is going to make you want to get out the door, look forward to getting out the door, and do that. So number three is get equipped. Take this seriously. You're an athlete now, so get the right equipment. Number one, above all, is going to be the shoes. You don't want to scrimp here. We're trying to avoid injury. So you want a really good pair of shoes. And if it's possible, try to find somewhere that will fit your foot to the right shoe, because I can't recommend a shoe. Everybody's feet are different. So you really need to find that shoe that is absolutely perfect for your foot. It is something you do want to spend more money in this department because having that right shoe is going to be a game changer. We need to avoid injury. One tip I will give you, and it's a runner's tip, but I use it for walking as well, is size up half a size. And that just gives your foot a little space so that you don't start losing those toenails, because I've lost plenty of toenails in my running years. And do keep in mind that shoes have a lifespan. Do not keep the same shoes for years and years and years. Maybe you have an old pair that you're like, oh, I spent a lot of money on those shoes, I'm gonna pull those out. I mean, shoes have an expiration date. You need to change them often. It depends on how often you're out there walking or running, but you need to make sure that you don't just keep using those same shoes for years and years and years. You need to keep an eye on the bottom, and if they look like they're starting to wear down, get a new pair. And I'm assuming you're gonna be walking outside. If you do plan on walking a track that is inside, maybe depending on certain days, if it's raining, you might need to walk on certain days on a track indoors, but I wouldn't recommend doing that all the time. There are things that walking outside actually are pretty beneficial to our whole well-being as well. So it is good to get out and walk outside. If you're walking outside, your clothing is gonna make a difference. So let's go over some of the things that I wear. And of course, your clothing will change depending on the time of year, but let's start with what I wear in the summertime. Right now, it is triple digits. It has been for several months, and so I am very careful in protecting myself from the sun. I got a hat here that some of you might be like, I am not going out of the house in a hat like that. I am not one of those people that care what people think of me. I do what I think is going to be best for me, and that's all I think about. So on top of this hat being very wide, it has this thing that covers the back. It doesn't have an opening for a ponytail. Some people like that, but it has, you know, these little things. You can turn them up and have more airflow going through, and it's adjustable in the back here as well. And then it has this that goes around and it snaps in. So this has a very wide brim, which is great on its own, but it's also UV sun protection as well. So all these pieces are going to give you that extra sun protection. This lower part of my face gets wrinkly pretty easily, so I like to, and it has two buttons, so you can make it more up here. I usually have it kind of droop down here a little bit so that I can smile when I pass people. I searched Amazon for the best hat. This was probably one of the more expensive ones. I honestly do not remember how much, but I will link this. In this case, I think it's another one of those things where you're better off if you spend just a little bit more. So something that I've used for years and years and years and years are sun protective gloves. These ones also have the little grits so that you can use your phone. In case my podcast finishes, I can get down there and swipe over to the next one without taking my gloves off. So these I use all the time. I don't just use them on my walks, and I've used them for years. I have a pair in the car because when you're sitting in the car, that is like where the sun will really hit your hands. I have a pair in the basket of my bike, so when I go out for a bike ride, I put a pair on. So I just think these sun protective gloves are just the greatest thing. I try to protect my hands because that is definitely somewhere where we age and there's not that much to do to help that. And then I got this UV sun protective top. Yes, I do wear long sleeves when I go out, even though it is so hot out there. Listen, I like sweating. Do you know you should be sweating? You gotta sweat to get all those impurities out of your body. You should be sweating every day. So when I come in, I'm not someone who really sweats a lot, but oh boy, am I sweaty when I come home. This has to go right into the hamper, and my hair is drenched and I am soaked, and I feel so good because I know I'm getting all of those impurities out of my body. My bottom half, I have so many workout clothes, I just throw on whatever. Then you want something to tie around your waist. I just got this one recently. For years and years and years, I always use these ones, and they're great. They're much smaller than this guy right here, and these are made specifically for runners. But I just find that my phone, I have a really big iPhone, it doesn't fit in there very well. I have to have Kleenexes because my allergies are usually bothering me when I'm outside. I have my ear pods because I'm listening to my podcast. I thought I wanted something bigger, and I got this a few months ago and never looked back. I just love it. I can put my sunglasses in there, so if I want to wear my sunglasses, I can pull them out, but a lot of the time I don't wear my sunglasses because the brim of my hat is big enough, and it's really good to sort of let your eyes see the light. So I just really like this one. Comes in lots of colors, just like the tops and the gloves. They all come in lots of colors. So I can link all of these things, but just go on Amazon and see what calls your name, what seems to fit your lifestyle. These are things that I really recommend you get before you even take your first step outside. Number 4, when should you walk? When is the best time of day to walk or exercise in general? And that would be about an hour and a half to 2 hours after you wake up. The reason being is because that is when cortisol enters your body. Cortisol is the fight or flight hormone, and it wants you to move. And if you don't move, then your body wants to protect you, and it puts fat around your midsection. And don't get mad at your body for doing that, because the alternative is putting the fat around your heart or an organ that's going to kill you. So your body is literally saving your life. So when you look down at that fat around your belly, say, thank you, body, that you love me so much that you saved my life. Anytime during the day when you are sitting, maybe something happens at work or a family situation, and you feel stress, like cortisol is going to be pumped in, and the worst thing you can do is say, I'm just going to relax and go take a nap, try to calm down, let me just figure this out at the computer. That's the worst. Get up and walk around, do some air squats, turn on some music, and have a little dance party. Move. That is going to be your best friend. Doesn't have to be a big exercise workout. Just move, pace around the house, do something that gets you up and moving. That's what cortisol wants you to do. Something that I have added on really recently are hand weights. This is not necessary, but get the lightest weight you can get. This is 1 pound. I just really like it. It just gives a little extra something to your arms, gives you a little bit more of a workout, adding to the full body workout that you get with a walk. So foot placement is really important. A good way to practice how to do this is to maybe go to a track when you first start. So go to a track that has a line. So you want to put one foot right in front of the other. It almost makes you have a little bit of a wiggle when you walk, but you're getting one foot in front of the other. And what makes this so good is that you're working your midsection, you're working your core. And no matter what exercise you're doing, working your core should always be the top thing that is being engaged. Always think about your core, because that is what saves us from falling, from losing our balance. Having a good, strong core is so important as we age. You think about your core when you're out walking. Think about it keeping it really tight. If someone came and punched you, like, they would break their fist because you have your core so tight. And then your arm placement is also important. So you have each foot going like you're on a tightrope, and then your arm placement is going to come right into the middle and back out. So you're going forward and then back. And almost like as your hand comes forward, almost like you're going to shake somebody's hand And you know how you sort of go across your body to shake someone's hand, and then you just pull it out. But you want to keep telling yourself, relax your shoulders, relax your shoulders. You need to keep your shoulders down your back and relaxed. But at the same time, you want your arms going across your body. That also helps to propel you to go forward. That also is working your core. So a couple of ways that I practice walking on a tightrope, or just keeping it in my mind that I need to be walking on a tightrope, because sometimes I'll be listening to the podcast and I don't remember all the little things you need to do. So I will walk on the side of the sidewalk where the grass meets the sidewalk. So it's almost like a line right there. So when my foot goes down, I know my other one has to go right in front. And it's a good reminder that you need to do it that way. Here's another thing that I do to practice walking on a tightrope. I will walk on the side of the sidewalk right beside the road. So you know that little ledge right there, you've got to walk between where the road, you'll fall down onto the road, or you'll fall over onto the grass on the sidewalk. So I walk there, and you've got to go kind of slow at the beginning. I've started getting pretty good at it, so practice makes perfect, but that is a really good way to, you just got to make that core so tight, because it really works your core, and you've got to work that core or you will fall off. And at first, go slowly. I started off really slowly. I'm still slow, but I've been able to pick up a little bit of pace. So it's a really good way to work your core and to practice walking that tightrope. And when you're first starting out, there's a lot to think about, and it was overwhelming for me. And my coach told me, take one thing at a time. Start with the foot placement. Don't worry about exactly where your arms are going. Start with one thing, start getting better at that before you add in the next. And then as everything starts to fall into place, before you know it, you're out there with your little butt wiggling and your arms going and your feet walking that tightrope. Give yourself a little grace. That was the best advice that my coach gave me. Start slow. Don't get all overwhelmed by thinking you need to do everything right the first time you head out. But that's all I've got for you today. So I'm really glad that you are excited about getting out there and walking, because I just think it is the best form of exercise. You don't have to join a gym. Doesn't cost you anything. Well, the equipment costs you. You know, you need to get those good shoes. So do invest in that. And you know, if you want to add the other things in, I think they're great things to add in. So the great thing is you just walk out your door and there you are. Your gym is in front of you. And so there's no travel time. It is just walk out your door, walk back home, and you're done. I hope this has been informative. If you have any questions, absolutely ask them. I will be excited to help you along this journey. Stuff like this makes me really excited, because I want you to be healthy and I want you to put yourself as a priority, and getting out and walking is just so good. I hope you really put an effort in to you, because being healthy is the most important thing you can do for yourself. So thank you for being here with me today. And if you do start walking, let me know. Keep me informed. I love knowing when people are really getting out there and taking care of themselves, because you know what? You're so worth it. You are so worth taking time for you. That's it. That's all I've got for you today. Love hanging out with you, especially when we're talking about fitness and caring for ourselves. Love you guys. Bye.